When you're torturing somebody, it affects them for the rest of their life. When you're torturing an innocent person, that's worse, or trying to force somebody to give information, he's gonna lie. He's not gonna give you the facts because he just wants to stop being hurt. And to hide a facility like this, and what they're doing is they're hiding it in rural, down neighborhoods where nobody would think of looking for it.
The worst thing was it had to be someone from the Guardian, where the blank was our medium.
Yeah.
I mean, I frankly tend to get my news from the internet now. I mean, I don't trust the media anymore.
I was livid. I was absolutely livid when I heard all this. The anger, it just kind of swells, and it just let you know you got to be able to do something. And coming out here today and raising awareness to this, what is actually happening is I guess the route to go right now.
I always quote this phrase from George Carlin. You know, there's a club and you ain't in it.
And there's a high school right next door to this place. I mean, and to have torture going on next to where we're educating the next generation of gatekeepers is sad.
This is their community just as it is ours, and I hope, that they keep that in mind and really take a hard look at some of these policies that are coming down from the federal government and being instituted here at the state level, the local level. And because, at the end of the day, they're the last line of defense between us and this sorts of tyranny that we're seeing here today.
So we're leaving the protest site right now. We've been out there since about noon today. Had a chance to meet up with the local Oath Keepers chapter. They were in the area to make sure that none of the protesters were going to be harmed or harassed by the police. All in all, peaceful protest. I mean, not all in all. I mean, it was completely. But, I'm surprised that there weren't more than there was 200 people there. I'm surprised that more didn't show up. I was expecting thousands. I mean, for crying out loud, we came from Austin, Texas to cover this, and the local media doesn't even show up until some of them halfway through the protest and then towards the end. For the most part, they sat inside their vehicles and waited and then come out after it's over. I mean, this is out of control. This is a world we live in right now where people are more concerned about celebrity gossip and what someone's wearing, not about the fact that American citizens are being illegally held, detained, tortured, beaten, killed in a facility right in their backyard. All of Chicago should have came out here. But I am very happy that at least 200 people saw within themselves that this was something that needed to be protested, something that needed to be brought to the surface. This detention center is only the top. We've just now scratched it. We only know about this site. But, we're starting to get word. I mean, I heard a couple of people today that said they've heard of maybe 4 that are operational in Chicago.
Unfortunately, yes. I certainly believe there's quite a few. There might be even multiple ones here in Chicago. But yeah, if this is happening here, there's no reason to believe that it's not happening elsewhere.
Now, if we can find these other spots, that will be breaking. That'll be huge. But then if there's 4 in Chicago, wonder how many are in Detroit. Wonder how many are in LA, New York, Tampa Bay, Houston, Dallas. I mean, all over the country, these places are operational possibly. And if we can bring more awareness to it, other people are going to start coming forth. We're going to have more whistleblowers. They're going to go you know what? I was detained in a place that really doesn't have any name. I wasn't given any sort of ability to contact my lawyer. I wasn't read my rights. I wasn't told what I could or couldn't do. I was treated like a terrorist. Our country is it's slipping away. So the really cool thing when we get to go to these protests, you always get to meet really interesting people, some who aren't awake, some who are. More and more, I'm seeing a lot of the ones who are awake, and I'm glad that these people are showing up. We need more and more like that. But there's one gentleman that really just stuck out of my mind, and I just thought it was crazy what I heard. He was talking about how the Illinois state correctional facilities, the prisons where they hold inmates, are basically being run like a Guantanamo prison.
Okay, in Menard Correctional Center, what they call it is nut to butt. And inmates must line up together, and you got to hold the inmates behind you. As you're handcuffed, you got to hold his nuts and walk with your face on his back. From the cell house to the chapel, then you will spend the next 6 hours leaning on the wall with your forehead looking to the ground, shackled and chained the whole time, with tactical officers in full riot gear, with no name tags, no way to identify them. Sad part is there's been roughly, that I have in my possession at work, 30 letters of where officers playfully ram the oak stick in an inmate's anus, jokingly talking about, you really like this, don't you? And is this the way we're supposed to treat somebody that will be coming home? We have over 80,000 prisoners in solitary confinement in the United States. And right now they're going to build a 2,000-bed solitary confinement prison in Thompson, Illinois. Why are we using tactics that mentally destroy somebody so when they come out for the rest of their life they get free Social Security? As taxpayers, I'm like, whoa, aren't they supposed to come out and be an asset to society?
Or are they supposed to be rehabilitated and
Yes. Yeah. And if you keep hiring officers, but you're not giving out education. The law says every inmate has the opportunity to get at least a 12th grade education. But right now, only 33 guys got a GED last year out of 50,000 inmates in Illinois. Well, that doesn't make sense.
You go to Homan Square and you look at it, it looks like the scene out of a horror movie because all those acts in there are horrific that are happening. Being told that you're going to get a tour of hell, it's just mind-blowing. So hopefully we can bring awareness to this and more people will open up to what's going on and finally just wake up and say enough is enough.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, Infowars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.